How do celebrities spend their millions? Some buy private islands, gold-plated sneakers, or even pet tigers. They live like royalty until they don't. Some of the richest stars in the world have gone from luxury to loss faster than anyone saw coming. Celebrities make so much money it barely seems real. We're talking fleets of exotic cars, closets packed with designer clothes they'll never wear twice, and homes with more bathrooms than people. But here's the wild part. Some of them burn through their fortunes even faster than they earned them. One moment, they're buying mansions in Malibu. Next, they're auctioning off assets just to make ends meet. It's not always just about wild spending. Sometimes it's bad investments, shady advisors, or the pressure to keep up with a lifestyle that spirals out of control. Fame comes fast, but fortune can vanish overnight. In this video, we're diving into the shocking stories behind how celebrities spend their millions and the jaw-dropping ways some of them lost it all. Tiger. Now let's talk about Tiger. Not the golfer now, the rapper. Tiger's had some serious hits in the music world, but when it comes to money management, let's just say not his strongest track. It all started when he bought his then-girlfriend a $200,000 Mercedes Maybach, while being $480,000 behind on rent for his Malibu mansion. You'd think that would be the wake-up call, right? Nope. Tiger kept running into issues with landlords, and unpaid bills basically became his thing. In 2016, while out shopping for a Bentley, his Ferrari 458 got repossessed. Right there in the parking lot. Brutal. Despite this, Tiger didn't seem to slow down. He went on to buy multiple luxury cars, including a Rolls-Royce Ghost, a Land Rover, and even a Rolls-Royce Cullinan. But guess what? All of them were repossessed, too. Talk about bad luck. Not only was Tiger getting sued for unpaid rent by his landlords, but his ex-girlfriend Blac Chyna also accused him of missing child support payments. And now, that number's ballooned. As of 2023, Tiger reportedly owes over $8 million to the IRS in unpaid taxes dating back to 2011. He's still flexing online, still rocking designer, but there's no word on whether he's cleared those debts. So where does that leave him? Still rich? Kind of. His net worth is estimated around $8 million, but with that kind of tax bill hanging over him, it's hard to say what's real wealth and what's just for the gram. Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, once considered one of the most versatile actors in Hollywood, has had a tough time both professionally and financially in recent years. His iconic role as Captain Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean is no longer part of his future, and his personal life, including the highly publicized legal battles with his ex-wife Amber Heard, has cast a messy shadow over his career. Despite making an estimated $650 million over the course of his acting career, Depp revealed in a 2018 interview that his bank accounts were practically empty. So, what happened? Depp has blamed his financial troubles on his former management team, TMG, claiming that they mishandled his money. They fired back, claiming Depp's financial issues were self-inflicted, thanks to what they called a compulsive spending disorder. And honestly, his spending habits didn't help his case. Depp was reportedly shelling out $200,000 a month on private travel alone. He famously spent $3 million to shoot his friend's ashes out of a cannon. Yes, really. And another $1.8 million every year just on personal security. By 2016, things were so bad that his team warned he had just 30 days of liquidity left. Imagine that, earning millions per movie, yet almost completely broke. But here's the twist. Depp's still standing. In recent years, he's slowly rebuilt. He signed a record-breaking $20 million deal with Dior to continue as the face of their Sauvage fragrance, the biggest men's fragrance deal in history. He's also made a surprising move into the art world, showcasing decades of personal artwork in a major New York exhibit. As of 2025, his net worth is estimated around $150 million. Still a long way from his peak, but a serious recovery nonetheless. Thankfully, he's learnt his lesson. Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's story is often used as a cautionary tale for athletes. He made over $400 million during his boxing career, but by the time he retired, he didn't have much to show for it. In 2003, Tyson filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, a stunning fall for one of the most feared fighters in history. So, what happened? Tyson spent money like it was endless. Jewelry, mansions, cars, motorcycles, limousines, wild parties. Nothing was off limits. Just months before filing for bankruptcy, he dropped $173,000 on a diamond-encrusted gold chain that he never even paid for. Tyson had been a regular customer at the jewelry store, so when he walked out without paying, they didn't think much of it. But when everything unraveled, Tyson claimed to be $27 million in debt, spending $400,000 a month to maintain his extravagant lifestyle. He even had pet tigers roaming his mansion. Looking back, Tyson admits that he got caught up in the hype and was taken advantage of by those around him. He's far from the $400 million fortune he once had, but Tyson has worked his way back up with an estimated net worth of $10 million today. It's a reminder that no amount of money is too much to lose if you don't manage it wisely. Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan was once one of the hottest stars in Hollywood. From The Parent Trap to Mean Girls, she was everywhere. At her peak, she was worth over $30 million, but things quickly went south. Lindsay's wild lifestyle included spending nearly $500,000 a year to live at the legendary Chateau Marmont. She was even banned after racking up a $46,000 bill, but that was just the beginning. Between 2007 and 2013, Lindsay had multiple run-ins with the law. We're talking about everything from driving under the influence to reckless driving, possession, even assault. It wasn't just bad luck. It looked like she was spiraling. Her financial troubles weren't far behind. Rehab visits, mounting legal fees, and bail costs piled up fast. By 2017, she still owed over $100,000 in back taxes to the IRS, and at one point Charlie Sheen even gave her $100,000 to help cover it. Now that's a friend. But the story doesn't end there. Today, Lindsay seems to have turned things around. She's now the proud owner of a successful beach resort in Mykonos, and it looks like she's finally found her footing again. 50 Cent. Finally, we have the infamous 50 Cent, a man who went from rapster to bankruptcy headlines and somehow came out swinging. At his peak, 50 Cent was making money like it was scripted. Between his legendary vitamin water deal, which reportedly earned him between $100 to $150 million, and millions more from clothing, endorsements, and his luxury underwear line, Curtis Jackson was riding high. But in 2015, the shocker came. 50 Cent filed for bankruptcy, revealing $32 million in debt. So what went wrong? A little bit of everything. A $5 million judgment over a leaked sex tape, a $17.5 million loss in a business lawsuit, failing ventures, unpaid court fees, and a lifestyle that screamed more money than sense. At one point, he was dropping $108,000 a month just to rent an 18-bedroom mega mansion. It wasn't just ballin', it was financial freefall. But he didn't let bankruptcy break him. He made it part of the hustle. In just 2 years, 50 paid back over $23 million. He played it smart, tightened up his empire, and made some serious moves behind the scenes. Fast forward to now, and 50 Cent is thriving again. He's the executive producer of the Power universe, one of the biggest TV franchises on Starz. And his business portfolio keeps expanding. He has literally built himself a new empire. His estimated net worth today is somewhere between $45 and $60 million. Not bad for a guy who once had to convince a judge the money in his Instagram posts was fake. Scott Storch. Next up is Scott Storch, a man who earned a fortune producing for the likes of Kanye West and Dr. Dre. But despite making millions, Scott somehow managed to burn through a jaw-dropping $70 million in just under 3 years. How did he do that? Supercars, luxury homes, a yacht, and a staff of 20, just to name a few. And no, this wasn't a one-time splurge, it was his everyday lifestyle. Scott lived large, spending $1 million a month just to maintain his staff and lifestyle. But as the money started drying up, so did his will to work. He fell into a vicious cycle of drug abuse, and his once thriving career came to a halt. By 2009, just 3 years after living like a king, Scott filed for bankruptcy. 6 years later, he did it again, listing only $3,600 in assets. He's been back in the studio working with names like Post Malone and 6ix9ine, trying to revive his career. But with a reported net worth of just $250,000 as of 2025, it's a long climb from the top he once sat on. Fat Joe. Speaking of Fat Joe, this guy has had his fair share of financial trouble too. Despite making millions from his music career, Fat Joe found himself deep in tax debt. He owed $1.18 million for 2007, $1.28 million for 2008, and by the time 2010 rolled around, he had racked up a total debt of over $3.3 million. But Fat Joe didn't dodge it. Instead, he owned up and pleaded guilty in 2012 to failing to file tax returns and served 4 months in federal prison. It wasn't a good look, but it also wasn't the end. After serving his time, Fat Joe took real steps to bounce back. He paid off a huge chunk of his debt, stayed active in charity work, and went right back to doing what he does best, making music. Today, Fat Joe's net worth is estimated at around $4 million, and in 2024, he even announced his first ever UK headline show. Fat Joe proves that setbacks don't have to be the final chapter. MC Hammer. Who could forget MC Hammer? In the early 90s, he was untouchable. Chart-topping hits, flashy style, and one of the best-selling hip-hop albums of all time. But as fast as the money came in, it vanished even faster. Hammer spent more than $40 million building his California dream home, a property with a bowling alley, basketball court, movie theatre, and more. Plus, he hired 200 staff members. Yep, you heard that right. 200 people. And of course, he bought 17 luxury cars and a private jet to go with it. But when you're spending that much and not bringing in the same amount, something's got to give. By 1996, Hammer had filed for bankruptcy. Despite being worth $70 million at one point, he ended up broke. His mansion, which cost him $42 million, was sold for just $6.5 million. That's a major loss. Birdman, co-founder of Cash Money Records and long ranked among the richest rappers in the game, has seen his fair share of financial drama despite an estimated net worth now hovering around $150 million. Back in 2012, Birdman dropped $14.5 million on a massive Miami mansion, complete with 20,000 square feet of pure luxury. But by 2017, that dream home was repossessed after he defaulted on a $12 million loan. Birdman didn't go down without a fight. His lawyer claimed the foreclosure was the result of predatory, illegal loan terms set by the bank and not financial mismanagement. But in the end, the courts weren't buying it, and the mansion was sold off. To be fair, Birdman's empire didn't crumble. He's still cashing in from his Cash Money stake, with artists like Drake, Nicki Minaj, and Lil Wayne tied to the label's legacy. If you enjoyed hearing about these wild financial ups and downs, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories like this. And remember, it's not just about how much you make, but how you manage it. Catch you in the next one.